Detective Evelyn Hartley had seen many crime scenes, but none quite as puzzling as this one. She stood in the dimly lit study of an opulent mansion, her eyes keenly observing the grisly tableau before her. A single rose, a vivid red against the blood-stained carpet, lay beside the lifeless body of Charles Montgomery. Glimmering sharply in the light were 3 spent bullet casings scattered around the room. The summer evening outside was so still it seemed frozen, a stark contrast to the chaos within the room, a chaos no one else had witnessed. Everyone in the house heard nothing, they claimed. 3 shots, but not a whisper outside the confines of the study. Evelyn's mind raced. In a town known for its tranquility, secrets flowed silently beneath the placid surface. Charles Montgomery was known among his peers and rivals for his perfectionism that bordered on arrogance. That trait often earned him more enemies than friends. His closest circle included his conflicted personal assistant, Leo, who skulked in the background, his eyes shifting uneasily. There was Olivia Montgomery, his estranged wife, who had long moved out but was mysteriously back for the night. And the enigmatic art dealer, Sebastian Gray, his competitor, who had an unexplainable presence at the scene. The first clue Evelyn approached was the rose. Montgomery had kept a book, an anthology of mysterious folklore where a single rose symbolized unrequited love or betrayal. It was a rose that did not belong here, reminiscent instead of a bittersweet farewell, a relic from a haunting previous chapter Montgomery might have wanted forgotten. Evelyn ordered the house thoroughly searched for discarded rose petals or any trace of the flower. Meanwhile, she examined the paper in Montgomery's cold hand, a list of artworks for an upcoming auction. Each piece had inwrought a history wrapped in intrigue, but one stood out, the faded rose, a painting long thought lost, rumored to capture its subject's essence in life and death. To unravel this enigma, she turned to interview the potential suspects. First was Leo, whose subtle cues betrayed more than words. He was evasive yet deeply troubled. Evelyn noticed the faint trace of anxiety in his voice as he mentioned Charles was expecting a deal closure. That deal owned the potential to overshadow Sebastian's imminent exhibition. Olivia Montgomery, draped in veils of anger mixed with regret, had returned to confront Charles one last time. Yet as she spoke, her voice quivering not with guilt but raw, unresolved sorrow. Evelyn sensed an emotion too genuine for pretense. Sebastian Gray was frustratingly calm. With his patterned composure, he maintained he was merely visiting to finalize their art trades. However, the contradiction in his own alibi and the fact that he arrived hours earlier than testified left Evelyn with suspicion. At times, solving a crime relied on the glint of humanity behind the mask of falsehood. Every piece of evidence seemed like an abandoned thread, yet together they wove a tapestry that led Evelyn down a path of monetary greed mixed with a personal vendetta Lewis had nursed. In a twist of fate and intricate human connection, she deduced Leo had acted with desperation as he confessed. The rose was his parting gift to a boss he had adored and who stood in his way with his decisions that jeopardized Leo's financial future. 3 bullets for power, a rose for bidding adieu. But none could mourn, for each character on this stage held a piece of the darkness living within the renowned art collector's fate. Evelyn savored the victory of justice served, another knot unraveled in the fabric of lies. Yet even her detective's mind took a moment to admire the faint beauty of the rose, inevitable, inescapable, and forever haunting as her final clue.